welcome to Uncle's channel. Thanks for watching today, and let's do a quick review of Mario Kart World for the Switch 2. Now, Nintendo has hyped this game to pretty much no end to justify the $80 price tag, but I would consider this game more of a half step in the future of Mario Kart rather than like a full step, because certain things just feel a little bit off or missing. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, first off, I love that Monty Mole's a playable character. Love Monty, wish he was in Super Smash Bros., made videos about that, and I played him immediately when I saw he was inside the game. But then I got the Penguin unlocked, and I was like, you know what can I say? I love Penguin too, and so I go through most of the game as Penguin. But let's go ahead and dive into the game modes. Now, first off, there is the Grand Prix, which takes about 2 hours to finish if you want to unlock every cup at every course, and it does seem a little short in comparison to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. However, 8 did get expansion after expansion after expansion, so I'm sure there are more tracks to come, and hopefully it'll be free if they switch online membership again. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo does try to charge us at some point for some of these extra tracks that are surely coming. But let's go ahead and talk about the tracks that are actually included in the original card here. Now, it does have some wonderful tracks, and some old ones are back as well as far as like retro tracks, but at the same time, it's sort of hard for me to tell like what's new and what's returning because they changed so much in some of these tracks. Now, sometimes it's for the better, like with Moo Moo Meadows, took a beautiful landscape, upgraded a little bit, took a beautiful soundtrack, upgrade a little bit, but the core track is still there and the feeling is 100% there, and I loved playing through it again. But then you have other things like Wario Stadium from N64, and it's just simply a shell of its former self, and it's really only the same as N64 track in name only. The same thing can be said for Choco Mountain, which is pretty much a totally different track, aesthetic-wise, tone-wise, everything's completely different. They just simply kept the actual name. I don't know why they didn't use the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe version of this, because it was pretty true to the N64 version, but I don't know, they just simply took some tracks and really took a lot of creative liberties to make them totally new, and I'm just simply not here for that. And I know it sounds like I hate change, but it just feels like they might as well just made a new course altogether instead of just changing the whole tone and aesthetic of the ones that we already love so dearly. But honestly, that's not my main issue with the Grand Prix. It's actually how the races themselves are done. Instead of the 3 laps on the track and then you move on to the next one, now you drive between the tracks, and the drive between counts as 2 of the 3 laps, generally speaking anyway, and usually only get 1 lap on the track itself. And yes, this does allow for more aesthetics and happenings in the environment, more variety in your gameplay, but I also sort of like taking multiple laps on the track to learn the track really well, really perfect where all the turns are coming up, where all the item blocks are going to be, all the shortcuts can be, and instead you're just simply having one massive lap in the place of that. And it's just harder to get a feel for the actual track, and I would rather just simply put more love into the smaller track instead of trying to really stretch it out as far as they have. I mean, it's not like the tracks are bad. They are good. There's tons of variety, like I said, tons of different things in the environment. I just simply liked it better when it was a smaller, concise, multiple laps to really learn the old school mechanics of that track. Now, next up is the knockout mode, and as far as like just quick, hectic fun, this is the most enticing mode, especially if you're playing online, because you basically have 24 racers that start out on a massive course here with 6 checkpoints, and at every checkpoint, the players in the last few places get taken out of the race permanently, and when you're on the final stretch, only 4 players remain, and obviously you're trying to get first place out of those 4. It's a fun mode to load up in single player, but like I said earlier, it's even more fun in multiplayer here, and seeing how players like save up their items and try to utilize them at the last moment to sort of knock people out of the cutoff points. I don't know, it's like an extra level of strategy here, or extra element to the game, and I really enjoyed seeing what players were doing on the online aspect of it. Single player is still fun, but this mode definitely lends itself more to the online side. Now, I will say Nintendo like really did hype this up as far as like an original idea, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it is fun, I liked it, but I've seen Game Boy games do this like 30 years ago in some of those racing titles, and so like, it's not a totally new concept. It's just simply a new concept for Mario Kart, and I don't know, I feel like Nintendo like really pushed it as far as like, look what we came up with, but regardless, you'll still enjoy knockout mode. Next up is the battle mode, and this one feels like most other Mario Kart battle modes, except there are only 2 games in the battle mode this time. You can do battle balloons or coin runners, and this is quite a downgrade from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because they had 5 different battle modes in that game, and one of my favorite ones was the Shine Run or Shine Thief, that's what it's called, Shine Thief. And I love that one. And it is now a literal crime that they took it out, because now you only have 2 modes, not even my favorite mode on here. And so I'm sure they'll like add these modes back in there eventually, hopefully free. But once again, knowing Nintendo, who knows what direction they're going to go in. But at the same time, they really did downgrade the battle mode quite a bit. Now, there's also a versus mode, which allows for more customizable options like no items and such. And for hardcore players out there, this is what they're going to flock to. There's not a whole lot to say about it, except it's going to be playing through the courses in your own particular rules. And last but not least is going to be the free roam mode, which is what I was probably most excited about when I bought this game, because they open up the entire landscape, the tracks, between the tracks, all around the tracks, literally the entire world of Mario Kart is open to you, and it's fun to roam around and complete little challenges like a time killer. You'll find like P blocks of missions like collecting coins or racing or endurances. They're not all the same, and when you complete the mission or whatnot, you do get a sticker that you can put on your card. You can also find Peach coins throughout the environment. They're just sort of hidden randomly. There's also like little item blocks that you can tag at the same time. It's fun to sort of play around in this mode. I don't know why they didn't make this a 2-player locally, that you could sort of roam through it together and explore stuff. That's not an option. I do believe it's online where you can free roam together. Not positive on that, but locally it is certainly not there. But like I said, it's fun to roam around, just sort of kill some time here. It's not going to be super rewarding. None of the items that you get are going to be like, well, holy cow, this is going to change the entire game. But like I said, it's fun to sort of wander around and explore the environments. I just simply don't know if the rewards justify all the hours that you would spend completing these small tasks if you're just simply trying to complete the game. So obviously Nintendo has added in several new features into Mario Kart, but I still feel like it's a half step forward. Let me explain what I mean by that, because I feel like there's a game mode they could have put into this game that would have been just wonderful, taking Mario Kart in a fully new direction. And what I wish they had done is just sort of combine some of the game modes together for like an adventure mode. So like take the Grand Prix, allow 3 laps on the course, and then open the world up after that and let you use the map to try to find the next course throughout the world, and you get to explore along the way. Perhaps you can get some different items or parts to upgrade your kart for the next race, and this would have like essentially combined a free roam mode and a Grand Prix together, and it would have felt more like an adventure. And I really feel like that would be the better direction as far as like a full step forward for Mario Kart, because right now it just sort of feels like they're, I don't know, tempting in that direction or teetering in that direction, and they just simply haven't gone full force with it. So I guess it boils down to, is Mario Kart the true next step into Mario Kart Evolution? Like I said, I think it's a half step because there's some new ideas there. It feels like they're in the right direction, but doesn't simply feel perfectly executed. And I'm sure they're going to add on to this game endlessly on the Switch too, as far as like its life cycle. I mean, it's probably from 10 years from now, we're going to look back at this game and be a totally different game with all the different tracks, different game modes. Who knows? They might even add the adventure mode that I want in there at some point as well. And probably when the Switch 3 comes out in 10 years, they're probably going to launch a Mario Kart World Deluxe on that. And perhaps that will truly be the ultimate Mario Kart experience to go through. But for right now, all we have is Mario Kart World. And still a fun game, still a good game. I don't know if it's worth $80, but I think if it was a $60 game, I think it would probably justify the half step forward in the Mario Kart direction. But overall, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check my other videos listed up above and go out there, find a great game to play. Simply have a great rest of the day.